God.
Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus.
How can it be?
Yes. Amen.
I remember a song that said, I don't know why he loved me. I'm glad he did.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm glad he did. Praise God. He's our intercessor. Praise God. He's our deliverer. He's our healer. He's our Savior. Praise God. Praise God. So thankful that you're here tonight to worship God. Praise God. God's been good to us, church.
Amen.
Praise God. We ought to be thankful for it. We ought to worship Him for it. Praise God. The book of Mark, the first chapter, began reading at verse 29. It said, and forthwith when they were come out of the synagogue, they entered into the house of Simon and Andrew with James and John. But Simon's wife's mother lay sick of a fever, and anon they tell him of her. And he came and took her by the hand and lifted her up, and immediately the fever left her, and she ministered unto them. Praise God. Let's praise Him one more time. God, Lord, we love You. God, we praise You for what we feel in this place tonight. And God, we ask, Lord, You just anoint, use us for Thy glory, and on hearts and ears to receive Your word. We'll praise You in Jesus' name.
Thank you.
Praise God. You may be seated. Just a simple message and just a simple thought tonight. We find that Simon's mother-in-law lay sick with a fever. They tell Jesus about it. The Bible said, and he came and took her by the hand and lifted her up. And immediately the fever left her, and she ministered unto them. Just a little while tonight, I want to preach this thought. He lifted me up.
Thank you, Lord.
There's probably not one of us in here sometime or another, and I need it often. I think we all need it often. We simply just need Jesus to lift us up. See, we find ourselves, whether it's with a sickness or whether we're burdened down so heavy that we can't even hardly rise up ourselves, that we just need Jesus to come along and lift us up. That's why it's important that we gather into the house of God and begin to worship Him and give Him that opportunity just to lift us up. Just to lift us up. She was sick. She was sick. She was sick of a fever. It didn't feel like rising up herself. Probably didn't feel like lifting up her head. Anybody that ever experienced fever knows that you don't feel much like doing anything when a fever hits you. But Jesus came along, and the Bible said that He took her by the hand and lifted her up. Praise God. I don't know about you, but sometimes we just need Jesus to take us by the hand and lift us up a little bit. Praise God. He knows, look, listen, He knows how we feel. And He knows we get down sometimes. Even though, all of us, try to be strong and we try to do the right things, and sometimes we get to the place that the burden is so heavy, it has us bowed down. And it's in those times that we just simply need Jesus to come along and lift us up, whatever the case might be. I saw something the other day that kind of caught my attention, and I don't even know who posted it, but part of it was the devil thought he had me when he saw me with my head bowed, until I said amen. Until I said amen. See, when Jesus lifts you up, when Jesus lifts you, there's something about it. See, when we come into the presence of God, there's something about the presence of God that'll uplift your spirit.
Amen.
I can come in sad, but if Jesus lifts me up, I can leave here happy. I might come in here sick, but if Jesus lifts me up, I can leave here well.
Yes, sir.
So sometimes we just need Jesus to lift us up. No matter what we're going through, no matter how strong we think we are, sometimes we need Jesus to lift us up.
Right.
Praise God.
Thank
He said again in Mark the 9th chapter, verse 20, and they brought him unto him, and when he saw him, straightway the Spirit carried him, and he fell on the ground and wallowed foaming. And he asked his father, how long is it ago since this came unto him? And he said, of a child. And all the time it cast him into the fire, into the waters, to destroy him. But if thou canst do anything, he said, if you do anything, Lord, have compassion on us and help us. Jesus said unto him, if thou can believe, all things are possible. To him that believeth.
Right.
Maybe we ought to grab a hold of that a little more. All things are possible to him that believeth. All things, if I'm reading that correctly, all things covers everything.
Yes, it does.
All things are possible to him that believeth. Praise God. Praise God. And straightway the father, and here's where we find ourselves a lot of times. And straightway the father of the child cried out and said with tears, Lord, I believe, help thou mine unbelief. Praise God. Praise God. Sometimes, and I preached a message on it one time, sometimes right in the middle of our doubt, Jesus shows up. Huh? Even in the middle of our doubt, sometimes Jesus shows up. Right in the middle of it. He said, I believe. There's not a one of us in here. We all believe that God can. But God help us to get to that place that we believe God will.
Yeah.
Right. Amen.
Huh? The lepers asked him, said, God, if you will, you make us clean. He said, I will. I will. Simply believing, going beyond believing God can, to believe in God's will. Right. This is where this father was. He believed God could, but he said, straightway the father of the child cried out and said with tears, Lord, I believe. See, this is right here. This is the time that he needed Jesus to step in and lift him up.
Right.
Lord, I believe, but help out my unbelief. When Jesus saw the people came running together, he rebuked the foul spirit, saying unto him, Thou dumb and deaf spirit, I charge thee, come out of him, and enter no more into him. And the spirit cried, and rent him sore, and came out of him, and he was as one dead, insomuch that many said, He's dead. But Jesus took him by the hand, and lifted him up, and he arose. Again, you got a lot of doubters in the world when you tell somebody, the Lord filled me with the Spirit, the Lord saved me like that. And you got doubters that say, oh, man, he's dead, he'll never amount to anything. And they were saying that about this boy. He's dead. He's dead. But Jesus, listen, when Jesus takes us by the hand and lifts us up. Jesus took him by the hand and lifted him up, and he arose.
Right.
Praise God. Jesus took him by the hand.
Yes, sir.
The old song says, Jesus, hold my hand. I need thee. Every hour, every day. Lord, I need you. Hold my hand. Lift me up. Take me by the hand. Lead me where you want to go. Guide me where you want to go. When I can't see the way by myself, take me by the hand and lead me. When my heart is overwhelmed, lead me to that rock that is higher than I. Amen.
Amen.
Sometimes, listen, I guarantee you, if you'll reach your hand up to Jesus, He'll reach His hand down to you.
Amen.
Praise God.
Amen. Yes, He will.
Praise God. The Bible says that Jesus took him by the hand and lifted him up. Just lift us up, Lord. Just lift us up. Sometimes we just need to be lifted up. Praise God. and we're burdened down and we're bowed down. We just need Jesus to lift us up. Praise God. Psalms 3 and 1 says, Lord, how are they increased that trouble me? Many are they that rise up against me. Many there be which say of my soul, there's no help for him in God. Listen, Satan will tell you that. Satan will tell you there's no hope for you. You've done messed up too much. You've done messed up too bad and too often. There's no hope for you.
Right.
Hmm? So what did he say? Many be there which say of my soul, there's no help for him in God. But thou, O Lord, art a shield for me, my glory, and what? The lifter up of mine head. Praise God. Praise God. There's something about it. When we cry out to God, that He'll simply lift us up. We cry out to Him. Our head may be down for a little while, but I guarantee you, when you begin to cry out for God, it ain't going to be going long till God will lift your head up above your head. He's the lifter of my head. Praise God. I cried unto the Lord with my voice, and He heard me out of His holy hill. I laid me down and slept. I wait for the Lord sustain me. You like? I can go to sleep. I can lay down and go to sleep tonight. God lifted my head up. He's lifted my head up above my enemies. He's took me by the hand. He's lifted me up. So I'm going to sleep tonight, and He's going to wake me up tomorrow. Praise God. The lifter of my head. I will not be afraid of 10,000s of people that have set themselves against me round about. Arise, O Lord, save me, O my God, for thou hast smitten all my enemies upon the cheekbone. Thou hast broken the teeth of the ungodly. Salvation belongeth unto the Lord, and thy blessing is upon thy people. Praise God. Praise God. I was sitting, this may be totally off of my message tonight, but I was sitting back there in my office studying for this. You know what came to my mind? The windows of heaven. God is opening the windows of heaven. God's about to pour out a blessing on His people that they cannot attain. God's about to lift up His people as never before.
Yes, sir.
He said, try me, prove me, and see if I won't open up the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing that you can't even contain.
Right. Right.
Salvation belongeth unto the Lord. The blessing is upon thy people. His blessing is upon His people. He'll lift your head, and He'll lift you up, and He'll take you by the hand, and He'll lift you up above your trouble. How many know God's bigger than your trouble?
Amen.
How many know God's bigger than your enemy? Psalms 18:48 says this, He delivered me from mine enemies, yea, thou liftest me up above those that rise up against me. You know what that tells me? Because the Bible says, greater is He that is in me than he that's in the world. That means when God lifts me up, I'm above Satan. Right? You want to know how low Satan is? When God lifts you up, you're above Satan, right? You're above your enemy.
Come on.
If anybody gets down to Satan's level, it's you. Because God wants you to be above Satan. He lifts you up above your enemy. Up above your enemy. Thou liftest me up above those that rise up against me. Thou hast delivered me from the violent man. Look at Psalms 27:6. And now shall my head be lifted up above my enemies round about me. And because of that, therefore will I offer in his tabernacle sacrifices of joy. I will sing praises unto the Lord. Listen, every time God blesses you, every time God does something for you in your life, you ought to offer a sacrifice of joy unto Him.
Amen.
You ought to offer a sacrifice of praise unto Him. A sacrifice of thanksgiving unto Him. You ought to offer a sacrifice for the way God
Yes,
blessed
sir.
you.
Yes. Thank you, Lord.
Praise God. Too many people want God to bless them and not give Him nothing in return.
Right.
Oh,
Cain did. He wanted God to bless his sacrifice, but he didn't want to give God the best he had in return. Look at Psalms 31. It says, I will extol thee, O Lord, for thou hast lifted me up, and hast not made my foes to rejoice over me. Listen. If you'll let God lift you up, if you'll keep holding on to God's hand,
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to let Satan defeat you. Not if we stay strong in the Lord. Oh yeah, every once in a while we might lose a battle, but if I stay strong in the Lord, I'm going to win the war.
Amen.
I'm going to win the war. Praise God. And look at Psalms 40 and 3. Or 41 through 3. He said, I waited patiently for the Lord, and He inclined unto me and heard my cry. Have you noticed that just about every one of these verses that I read, if you'll read maybe the verse before it or after, the writer of the Psalms is talking about, I cried unto the Lord. I cried unto the Lord. Praise God. Maybe we don't cry unto Him enough. We cry unto Him. He'll lift us up. He said, I waited patiently for the Lord, and He inclined unto me, and He heard my cry. And He heard my cry. He brought me up also out of a horrible pit. I don't care how deep the pit is. I don't care how deep that hole is you've dug for yourself. He brought me up also out of a horrible pit and out of the miry clay, and He set my feet upon a rock and established my going. Unless the Lord build the house, they that labor and build it in vain. Unless the Lord build the house. He lifted me up out of the pit, out of the miry clay. He set my foot upon a rock, and He established my goings. Let me tell you, that rock that He'll establish your feet on is Jesus. The Bible says Jesus is that rock.
Amen.
We're rooted and grounded and standing up on that solid foundation. Even if the storm does come, when the storm passes by, we're still standing on the rock. We're still standing on the rock. And He said, He hath put a new song in my mouth, even praise unto our God, and many shall see it and fear, and shall trust in the Lord. And notice what He said, He put a new song in my mouth, even praise unto our God, and many shall see it. What a witness. What a witness when God changes our life. When God lifts us up out of the miry pit that we found ourselves in. And He sets our foot upon that rock. The Bible said He's put a new song in my mouth, and even praise unto God. And many shall see it, and fear shall trust in the Lord. Do you know why the world comes against the church so hard? Huh? Because the prince of the power of the air, or of this world, which is Satan, fears the church.
Right.
He fears the church. He fears you. Again, because greater is He that's in you than he that's in the world. Many shall see it and fear, and shall trust in the Lord. The best way that we can be a witness to others and to let our light shine is when we let God lift us up. When we let God lift us up. Somebody said, how do we do that? We just surrender all to Him. Surrender all to Him. He lifted me up. I don't know about you, but I need Him to take me by the hand every day and lift me up. In this world that we're living in, we don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. Those people that went to church today, they wouldn't expect what happened to them. Wouldn't expect it. Wouldn't expect it. So we don't know what we may face tomorrow. That's why we need God to take us by the hand and lift us up today.
Right.
To give us strength to whatever comes our way tomorrow, we can face it. He's the lifter of our head. He'll take you no matter if you're facing sickness, you're facing the enemy, whatever problem in your life you're facing. I'm here to tell you tonight, Jesus will take you by the hand and He'll lift you up. He'll lift you up. Praise God. Praise God. Not just, He'll lift you up above your enemies. He'll lift you up above your circumstances.
Right.
There's something about it. When God lifts us up above our problems don't seem as big. That's all I'm saying. I'm glad one day Jesus lifted me up out of a miry pit, out of sin. Praise God. And set my feet on a solid rock. Praise God. God will lift you up tonight. If you're down and out, God will lift you up. Praise God. While they sing tonight, I want to ask everybody that will, let's just gather around front for a closing prayer.